I've been going through the archives, right? Trying to figure out where Jessica Tarlov went wrong, where all leftists go wrong. Because it's amazing to me that someone could work hand in hand, day in and day out with people like Greg Gutfeld and Jesse Waters and still not see the light, like even a little bit. And if she has seen the light, man, she is really, really good at pretending like she hasn't. But I mean, I just cannot imagine that the mental disorder that is modern day liberalism is that strong. It just cannot possibly be that strong. But I think I have good news. As bad as she is now, she may actually be coming around because her old showdown with Candace Owens has got to be the most unhinged thing I've ever seen her do. Take a look at this.
I'll agree that things have gotten ugly. It has become so hateful. It's become so divisive. Candace, is there a double standard with women on the right, you think?
Of course, there's a double standard. I mean, it's incomprehensible and indefensible, and anybody with a modicum of decency will admit that what's going on here is wrong. I can't even fathom a world where Obama's daughters are threatened with pedophilia by somebody in Hollywood in the same week that someone in his administration is kicked out of a restaurant with 7 members of their family just for wanting to eat. We would never hear the end of the claims of racism. This would not be allowed whatsoever, and it should not be allowed just because this is Donald Trump's administration.
In case you don't remember, she's referencing Sarah Huckabee Sanders getting asked to leave, getting kicked out of a restaurant by the restaurant's owner, who was virtue signaling, basically said that she viewed her as the extension of Trump's border policy, which ironically, and I know hindsight's always 20/20, but that border policy was a hell of a lot safer and a hell of a lot more humane from the perspective of the migrants than whatever this is that you want to call it now. Whatever we have now, this is not it. But that's what she's referencing here, right? This was an exchange, we got to remember, that was at the very, very height of Trump derangement. And really, I mean, let's be honest. Public officials being heckled by wackos in public, it's not new. It's not a real huge deal. It's nothing rare, nothing remarkable. But what was remarkable back then was who was riling up the troops.
If we can't protect the children, we can't protect anybody. If you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome.
How freaking old is this lady, man? Who in the hell actually says gasoline station? Maybe I'm too sensitive with Maxine. Maybe I'm being hard on her. But she sounds like a damn dinosaur to me. But here's the thing. There was a noticeable change in public behavior regarding Trump officials and even worse, their family. And a lot of it probably has to do with her. She never apologized, never called off the dogs, never clarified, never stopped. Still an elected representative. And obviously, I think we can all agree, if she had been a straight white Republican male, that would have been dealt with quick. I mean, we never would have heard from her again. And her words mattered. You know, I hate to say it, but they did. And I want to borrow one of the left's favorite buzzwords. That was a dog whistle to unhinged leftists all over the country. And like any good unhinged leftists, they targeted most of their efforts against women, like Secretary of Homeland Security Kirstjen Nielsen.
How dare you spend your evening here eating dinner as you're complicit in the separation and deportation of over 10,000 children separated from their parents? How can you enjoy a Mexican dinner as you're deporting and imprisoning tens of thousands of people who come here seeking asylum in the United States? We call on you to end family separation and abolish ICE!
Abolish ICE! Abolish ICE! Abolish ICE!
Abolish ICE!
Shame!
Here's what I want to know. Where are all those people now? You know, they were all wound up, and rightly so. They were wound up about 10,000 separated children, right? But where are they now? Senator Marsha Blackburn has been trying to get answers from the Biden administration since September, about 85,000 missing migrant kids that are missing now. And these same fraudulent activists are silent. They're gone. There's no AOC crying in one of Hillary's pantsuits at the border. Nothing. Those people only care when things are politically motivated, when they can gain something for it. And just for clarification, if you're keeping track at home, if you only care about kids that are politically helpful to your agenda, then you don't actually care about kids. And you're actually kind of a disgusting human. But anyway, back to Candace Owens, back to Jessica Tarlov. The point of their argument was this daily narrative on the left that basically said, if you're a woman and you support Trump's border policies, or really Trump anything, then your opinion isn't valid on any other feminism or woman-related policy, which of course makes no sense, but it's pretty typical leftist liberal logic, right? But it made no sense. And calling out things that make no sense is Candace Owens' #1 specialty.
The other side to the issue is the fact that Republican women want to be deemed feminists, and they want to have the same kind of clout as women on the left who are actually advocating for policies that help women, whereas the policies out of this administration actually hurt them, like refusing to raise.
But women that work for the president, they wouldn't say that. They would say actually the opposite. They would say that we believe in these issues and we feel like they help women.
Yeah, you can
be on the other side.
You can say whatever you want, but the statistics don't lie. We know that if you raise the minimum wage, 2/3 of people in this country on the minimum wage are women. They need that help. We know that there is assault on women's health care rights from this administration.
Just listen to what these people actually believe. They believe that if you don't support some sort of universal basic income type wage increase that they haven't explained and they haven't really thought out, or if you happen to have a different opinion on what the hell reproductive rights even means, then none of your other opinions matter. And like Jessica said, stats don't lie. And she claimed that 2/3 of minimum wage workers are women. And I thought for sure she had to be wrong, had to be misleading or even lying. But I looked it up and apparently that is true. But I have a feeling that that's proof of a much, much deeper problem. And I would doubt that the answer is just raising minimum wage, especially when you consider that it's been proven time and time and time again that raising the minimum wage doesn't really even mean that everyone makes more money. It means that there are less opportunities to go around. But I don't know, maybe that's just me. I'm probably applying too much actual logic to it. But in any case, regardless of what certain women believe about minimum wage or abortion, I mean, that does not mean that they can or can't be for female empowerment. I mean, it's just amazing to me that the left really does treat everything possible as a binary, except for things that are actually a binary. I mean, Candace also thinks it's ridiculous, right? This is where things really do start to unravel for poor Jessica.
Jess, please, I hate this selective feminism that we hear on the left all the time, okay? Well, don't make this a feminism issue because it's not a feminism issue. When you're going out and attacking women, you're not, I'm not done, okay? When you're going out and attacking women, you are not a feminist. This is not defensible whatsoever. And you sit here and you say that it's because you care about mothers. The basis of this is that people are upset that illegal immigrants are being separated from their mothers. Why don't you refocus some of that energy to the black community? They've been having their families separated. In fact, it's subsidized in the black community. You appreciate single motherhood. You are giving more money to families for fatherless absence. So all of this selective fake outrage when you guys do not have the same defenses for the black community is really lost on me. And it's time's up on this altogether. I think the black community has had enough of you guys being selectively outraged for parents of illegal immigrants, but not for the parents of the black community who have been separated from their family for about 6 decades.
All right.
Now.
I mean, dude, she's not wrong. I mean, they've been separated for decades and decades by government subsidy and by government mass incarceration. Do not ever forget the Biden crime bill and how many families that separated for the very, very same drug crimes that his own son has admitted committing. But, you know, this is the problem with the modern day left. You know, even their hot button key division issues are not consistent. All their random, seemingly insane agenda items, they're all just in service to their primary goals that they really don't even really want to talk about, which I believe are things like wealth redistribution, centralized control, you know, and basically essentially ending dissent. This is why, you know, they try to eliminate conservative women from the conversations on women. They want to make that group smaller and easier to control. It's that simple. That's the way I see it. But luckily, even the liberals, you know, especially the ones that think that they're smart, they outsmart themselves when they get asked easy questions that really have only one right answer. And as you probably guessed, the right answer is very, very, very rarely the liberal one.
Do you think that Kirstjen Nielsen should be harassed because of her position and because what is going on with immigration? Do you think because of that she deserves to be treated the way that she does? She was essentially forced out of a Mexican restaurant, protesters in there. You may disagree with her, but do you think the way she's been treated is fair?
I think that what Kirstjen Nielsen did in initially coming out and lying about what this president's policy did, then having to backtrack on it, puts her in a very tenuous position.
That wasn't my question, though.
I think that people should have civil conversations about it and certainly have every right as a public official to come up to her table and to call her out on her lies and this administration's lies. If she wants to leave because of it, that's on her.
Yeah, so she just said yes. Yes, she believes that public-facing people should be bothered and called out in public. But remember, she doesn't mean her, and she doesn't mean anyone that aligns with her. These people only mean that that's how people they disagree with should be treated. But You know, that's always been one of the main differences between us and them. But anyway, that's just my take, guys. Let me know yours in the comments. If you haven't already, be a part of the channel's growth. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Most importantly, share the channel. I'll see you in the next one.